Hi there, Karen Lovely here with 5 amazing human beings. I mean, unbelievable that I have the privilege to have such amazing humans, clients, just people, and then specifically men that are training for extraordinariness. No, beyond extraordinariness. I mean, that's just like plip, plip, a small word. I see these men, and I like to call them humans, that are wanting everything and anything out of life, understanding, knowing that they have the ability to achieve it primarily with the power of their hearts connected to their super powerful minds, the brain in action being the mind. And they are all participants in my current Recession-Proof call series, where we are becoming more powerful, more prosperous, okay, more purposeful in these times, the pandemic, COVID-19, the lockdown, the impending doom of the real estate, crash, the stock market crash, all of it. And we're like, hey, not a problem. So they are here with me. I'm going to have them introduce themselves, and they're going to be sharing their successes tied to what they've been getting in the training for greatness. Okay, so that said, let's start with Cody. Introduce yourself, and then I'll ask for the next person. So go ahead, Code Man.
Hey, thank you, Karen. Yes, like you said, my name is Cody Dober. I'm down here in Little Rock, Arkansas, and we do a real estate company here where we buy wholesale real estate property. And I've been training with Karen for the last 2 years, about a year or so. And I don't want to get too deep in the details right now because I know that's later on. But real quick, that she's really helped me get back on track, getting back on the wholesale game and kind of what I've done in the past to produce results.
Okay, yeah, and I'm like, okay, keep talking. But right, let's introduce first, and then we'll go back around. Thank you, Cody. That was excellent. Okay, Chris.
Hey. Chris Colstead here from Little Rock, Arkansas as well, and I am business partners with Cody. So I do buy and hold real estate and wholesaling with him. And I've been in coaching with Karen privately for about 2 years now, and really excited to be here and happy that Karen is the light that she is to myself and to everyone that she touches. I feel like we've been very fortunate. So thank you, Karen, and happy to be here.
Thank you, Chris. Okay, Antonio.
Yes, ma'am. So my name is Antonio Banda. I am 22, and I'm from a little town called Willis, Texas, trying to put it on the map, So trying to get big with my beingness, being powerful, being successful, being a great leader. And then Karen has definitely helped me out along the journey. She's actually one of the main reasons why I am where I am. So I got to thank her for that.
Okay, awesome. Sheesh. Wow, we got to have these calls more often. Okay. Antonio Bronson.
Hello, everyone. My name is Bronson Cormier. Originally from St. Martin, Louisiana, but I moved up here to Little Rock, Arkansas, where I am an SBA underwriter for a bank here in Little Rock. I've been knowing Karen for about 6 weeks now. I joined her Recession-Proof calls, and I'm already seeing insane improvements, especially with my fear of criticism, which I will discuss later on, and pretty much relationships with individuals personally that I know within work and outside of work.
Awesome. And then Alex.
Hey, everybody. This is Alex from Boulder, Colorado. I've known Karen for just a few weeks. In the short amount of time that I've known her, I joined her Recession-Proof calls, and I've just gotten so many golden nuggets, so many breakthroughs from being on the calls with her. I'm a new real estate agent in Colorado, and I've been doing property management before that. So really thankful for Karen and all of her energy, and she's just an awesome person.
Okay, thanks, guys. Every one of you. Chris, thank you. The light. That's my spiritual side that I don't talk about very much. is, yes, this is all about illuminating the best part of ourselves and owning it. You know, it's very difficult to actually recall our successes. We often forget about that as high achieving individuals. And we want to move to the next level and the next level and the next level. And if we don't go back and remember, represence, reminisce about the successes that we've already acquired, achieved, and experienced, which the brain will cut off when we're in fear. And it's the unconscious fear will have you completely have temporary amnesia to so many successes that when the chips are down and you're trying to level up to the next level and the next level, it's daunting and it feels like, oh my gosh, when am I going to get there? And when we go back and say, the reason I know for a fact in objective reality you can get there is because here is the evidence from your past that you have already went through and achieved in objective reality. I can prove it in a court of law. When we point those things out, it gives you extra fire and fuel and ignites even more determination and indomitable will and beingness to achieve that next goal. And that next goal for big dreamers and humans like us who want to get to the top of the top of the top for what we want in our lives, it gets more difficult and it gets more trying. The bigger the dream, the more your brain's going to want to stop you from reaching those goals. And so we have to go back, and that's why I wanted to do this specific podcast, so we can hear from you how you see yourself and the successes that you have achieved. And I have to say personally, I wouldn't even be alive today without understanding the human psyche and the unconscious fear and the unconscious blocks and stoppers and dream killers. There's no way I would be here today to even be here on a podcast and train all of you. So I want to hear let's have Cody go first. He was on the call first, and start the ball rolling, Cody, of sharing your number one success. And we're just going to go around and get as many in as we possibly can. Cody!
Yeah. Let's get it. Karen. One of the biggest things that I've really learned through coaching and stuff is just being super conscious. Because it's in that defining moment where you can catch yourself and you have a decision to make. And just through the coaching and the beingness of what this is all about, I've allowed myself to kind of trajectory myself into a better path than what I was going down before. And that's just, staying focused and getting back on track. So the biggest thing is just being super conscious to going back to what I've done in the past, where the results have shown, to procure more real estate deals and more transactions. And, I'm not sure if you want to get into that really so much right now, or if you just wanted to highlight more so just kind of one phrase of what it is that's helped us.
No, it's okay, because what I want to know is, let's give me a quick before snapshot, the before coaching, before you ever joined in. Yeah, just a quick snapshot of what that looked like. Yeah.
So before, just like a lot of other people, we're just aimlessly drifting down a path where we don't know where the end is. And through all this, I've allowed to regain my focus and really focus on the things that move the needle forward in business and just in life in general. And a lot of that is just being happy within yourself. Before you feel obligated to be working when you're out hanging out, and now, you realize the change by reframing the perceptions and the filters, that you can allow yourself some freedom and give yourself that planned time off to really enjoy the time off, because it's equally important to take time off as it is as much as you're working on. So just before, just being happy with myself and not so much happy, and then just allowing me to.
So, Cody, what I'm hearing is, like, one of the biggest things is there's a deeper sense of satisfaction, fulfillment, happiness, freedom. Is that what you're saying?
That's it.
Yes.
Freedom.
Freedom. And you're feeling freer as opposed to before. you started coaching, you felt not as free, more restricted, kind of held back, scattered? What would you say? How would you?
Just kind of like, my ankles were tied up. I couldn't go anywhere internally. Couldn't be happy and free, but once you go through and go through some of the basic level of what we're talking about, you can quickly analyze that moment of decision where I was talking about earlier to catch yourself in that point in time. And so the catching of oneself, that's really made a lot of difference in kind of where I'm going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, right there in a nutshell, freedom is an inside job. The freedom doesn't lie out there in all the money in the world and all the things in the world and all the career titles in the world and all the PhDs in the world or even the prizes, winning an Oscar, winning a Grammy. Those are all wonderful things, not to take that away. But when we are happy inside first and foremost, when we feel a sense of inner freedom, I call it self-freedom, that means that will eventually sink in, become unconscious. We become unconsciously proficient and competent to feel a sense of freedom. And then when it sinks in that deep, we are able to navigate through life with the least amount of resistance and whatever's happening, the economy, the recession, politics, family deaths, all sorts of things. We're able to move through those powerfully with the least amount of stress and worry and emotional wear and tear. That is true freedom. The freedom to, regardless of our circumstances and external conditions, that we still feel a sense of happiness and peace and joy and gratitude. And we are still emotionally prospering, spiritually prospering, and now physically, financially prospering. It is in that order. And that's what I'm hearing you say, Cody. Yes? Is that, just to feel free on the inside is everything, truth be told, as far as I'm concerned. So that's excellent. Okay.
Of course.
Yeah.
And one quick thing, it produces more confidence too and more powerfulness inside to where you can really navigate through challenges and obstacles you're going through.
Exactly. Bing! Bingo! Did it! Jackpot, right? You got yourself a winner. That's it. Exactly right. Okay, Chris, you're up.
Hey. So, I would say that the reason I got into coaching in the first place was, I was at a place where I thought I was an overachiever. I've always been an overachiever, and my initial thoughts was coaching was going to be the way to get to my next achievement. And in reality, when I came into coaching, I started to see and understand a lot of like what Cody's saying is the beingness first piece, and having that internal freedom and then letting it flow from there to produce effortlessly and to create exactly what you want in your life. And, my before and after picture, I was working at a software company and I was traveling, but I was very scared. I had a great job and I was very scared to ask for a promotion. I was just anxious all the time. And then getting into the coaching and working with Karen, I was able to get 2 promotions at that job in the span of 3 years. And then I was able to powerfully leave that company to pursue real estate full time, all the while doing real estate on the side when I was working for the company. But it all came from starting with that relationship with myself. That's something that I had really lacked, and I didn't know, but I'd always masked that pain. And through the coaching, I was able to heal those things to then be more powerful in my endeavors and pursuit of my potential. And like Cody said, my trajectory in my life, I would say single-handedly has changed from, being a guy who was afraid to speak up to being the leader who was speaking up and calling the shots. And so, that just goes to show the power of the work, if you put in the work. And that's what, that's why I believe in Karen so much is because of that.
Okay, so let's just go over let me do the recap. You're at an excellent job, okay? And you are doing extremely well in that position. Now, granted, yes, you were afraid. Well, we talk about this, but Chris, you had to fill out a questionnaire to level up in your current position to the next position, and you were stopped and blocked in filling out that questionnaire when you can't, and that was part of the coaching. So not only did you unblock yourself, but you have had probably underestimated the offers. That's just within the company. You were right out of the gate offered a similar position into what looked like a mini CFO position, right? Did you factor that in when you just said 2 internal, right?
No.
Yeah. Do you remember that? See, those are the things we forget, but I don't forget. I might forget your name, but I won't forget your wounds and your wishes and your successes. That's what's really interesting. Your wounds, your wishes. I hold you accountable for what you say you want, and then I call you on it if I don't see it in reality. Yes, and success. So that came and it had to be answered to the board. But when you went in and we worked on your application, one of the higher ups, the executives, came back and said, I see you in this role. And it was a CFO, Chief Financial Officer role. Your resume also goes with that because you're math, calculus, you have the credentials from college, but you didn't even factor that in. You forgot about that, didn't you? Just now.
I did.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I definitely did.
Yeah.
And I do kind of want to backtrack to my questionnaire that to provide some context, all I had to do was fill out this questionnaire and submit it to my supervisor to get a promotion just because I'd had the tenure. I'd been there for a period of time and you pretty much automatically get it. You just need to fill out the questionnaire.
Right.
And the questionnaire, as funny as it is and so ironic, is the questionnaire was like, pretty much like, what are your acknowledgments to yourself about your ability to, fulfill this role in the business? Like, how competent do you feel you are at your job? And I couldn't answer that because I was so in fear of I felt like my performance wasn't there. Although I had client rave reviews all over the place, I just felt like I was anxious. I was scared. I felt like, I guess, inadequate.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And so you not only did you get promoted within the company and the ability to ask for things, you now started to negotiate your salary. And not to mention that you got other offers from other companies associated with that company. You see this? You remember that? I'm not going to name names. But you actually got several job offers from other independent companies. Is that correct? Yes or no?
That is correct.
Yes. Isn't that interesting? Okay, so we can go on and on, but the biggest point I want to make is you always told me, even before you got into coaching, that you wanted a real estate career. You want to be doing real estate full time, yet you were working more than full time. How many hours a week were you working for that company?
Probably 60.
Exactly.
Every week for 3 years.
On average, yeah. 60 hours wanting to do real estate.
And I didn't take time off either.
Exactly right. Yes. And most people in your position would never have left that position. And yet, and we had to work through it. It took quite a while from your point of view, but very small while in the big scheme of life, okay? And it took you everything to say, oh my gosh, instead of being resentful, this is what most people do. They become resentful. They become, disenchanted with the job. They start becoming passive aggressive. They start saying, I don't want to work here. And then what's weird is they get fired. Or they're let go. Or the coronavirus hits and people, the company falls apart and they don't even hire you back. The weirdest things happen. We end up firing ourselves through our attitudes and our beingness and our character. But for you to say, oh my gosh, I am leaving powerfully, giving your resignation. And there was one thing that I said, right, that they were going to be devastated to let you go. But at the same time, they were a company that wasn't proactively rewarding you or giving you incentives to stay. But you had the courage now to leave. And I did say in your exit interview, do you remember what I'm talking about? When they were sad to see you go?
Yes, they asked, what would it take to keep you?
Yes. Say it again.
They said, what would it take to keep you here?
Yeah. And
or what if you were going to stay, what would you do? Like,
what
can we do to keep you here?
Exactly. So you left knowing you had to follow your heart and your passion. Like I said, very few people on the planet, I would say close to 99% of the people in that position would have never had given up that security. okay? But when we're talking about matters of the heart and you were able to connect the dots and have the confidence and the courage, right? Because we unblocked everything tied to your passion. And it was scary. It was scary. It wasn't easy. But you're the one who said, okay, it's time. And that's one of the biggest successes. Most people, they're still caught up in that job and they want to be an entrepreneur. They even know what they want to be doing and they're still working in that job. And I can relate because that was me searching before I became an entrepreneur. But Chris, I just want to commend you. And really, you got to take that in and understand. Like, that's one of the most powerful successes on the planet, right? In terms of taking that risk in the name of going for your dreams, for your soul, your spirit, your heart. Yes? It's incredible.
Absolutely.
Wow. Okay. Woo! Let's keep going. Okay, Antonio, and I'm going in the order of how I feel best. So, let's just go to Antonio next. And he's been in longer. You guys have been in longer. So we'll go that direction. Antonio, what's your success?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
So I would say that my biggest thing is, kind of like they both said, my before picture was when I started speaking to you, I was like literally about to graduate college, or I had already graduated, and I was like on my, after you graduate, you look for a job, right? So, and I was close to being in a position or taking a job that I was not going to love. And so what I told you is like basically I feel lost. And that's literally how I felt. I didn't know not even to where to go. And so when I spoke with you, we have a really long conversation, I found out what I really liked and what I really wanted to do. So then I had a sense of direction. So from there, I was able to find a position that I enjoy, and not only do I enjoy, but it actually is helping me grow as a person. Because as of right now, I'm a car salesman. So with that, I do have to have the confidence. I have to be able to lead people, whether it be my whole team or other salesmen or myself or the person I'm talking to. Everybody there loves the energy I have because I have always been like a happy-go-lucky type of person. But also being in that situation, it's like a Shark Tank. Everybody's out there for themselves. We are a family-owned,
yep.
So, but still, there is a little bit of conflict there. So I think I've been doing really well, and with your help, just kind of keeping it calm in a sense, and not making it like that all the time. And then also, I've created a great, an amazing relationship with the owner. He's helped me out so much, from helping me to now the car that I have, which I feel like I created, and I did create actually, as well as mentoring me, not charging me, because I charge people for my time, and so that, and then also,
yep,
yeah,
there it
and
is.
then also just throwing deals at me once in a while, which I'm like, hey, I'm cool, I could do that,
Exactly.
So, yeah.
You're becoming a magnet because that's all, look, it's passion and heart first, and then you magnetize most everything. So it feels effortless. That is the game. That's what I teach people. Okay? For the most part, you feel free and you feel like it's effortless, but there's work involved and it's uncomfortable. But the sooner you get through the uncomfortableness, the faster the profits roll in, the prizes roll in, the rewards, everything. But then again, Antonio, so I just have to, this is big. You had a college degree, arts and entertainment, right? Technology, right? Which is completely different than going to become a cold calling salesperson in car sales. Now, I sold cars, been there, done that. Yes. And I didn't love cars. You love cars. This was a connection from when you were a little boy. And we uncovered that. And then you took a job that's unheard of. I mean, similar to Chris, leaving the job, but then you take a job that has nothing to do with your major after 4 years of college. And you're right. It's a Shark Tank. If anything's going to be a Shark Tank, it's in this order. Car sales did it. And guess what? Retail real estate. Oh my God. And I have my real estate license. I was like, ugh, I don't want my real estate license. They're all like, ugh. And I believe that for the longest time, but then I got into investment real estate. But I know that the car, like car salesman has this stigma to it, and you're like, whoa, but if you can master car sales, oh my God, you could sell anything, right? You get this? It's one of the hardest.
Right, yeah.
Yes, the hardest jobs possible. And I even coached you on how to go interview for that job. And they pretty much hired you on the spot. I told you to walk in there, don't fill out the application online. Do you remember that? And you walked in.
Yes, ma'am.
And sure enough, the manager said, he pretty much hired, the moment you walked in and introduced yourself, you had gotten the job. Not that getting the job is that difficult. However, he immediately saw something in you, right? So I just want to say that is one of the hardest things to do. And you had zero sales training. Zero. Okay? And here you are, not only that, in your beingness, in your character, in your attitude, everybody wants to help you. Everybody, and I said, you're going to attract it, and they who do they give the deals to? Antonio! Isn't that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay. Now, can you connect it, or let's go around again. I want you to now connect the dots to when we discussed the Recession-Proof call. This is a different call. I usually do an entrepreneur call, and we deal with our relationship to and with money, which is a big, huge component that most people have no idea. But now let's talk Recession-Proof, Antonio. So the next round, I want you to connect just the recent in these times, right? What is different? What is really hitting you in terms of, and this is for all of you guys, right? With the economic climate and what's happening and all the fear and this and that and, run out and buy toilet paper. Connect those dots. So we're going to, move on. And now I want to hear from Bronson, and we'll come back around.
Yes, ma'am. So I've only known you for 6 weeks, and I've seen a lot of improvement, especially in my life. I was someone who wanted to be a leader, but very afraid to speak up and have difficult conversations. On top of that, I am a people pleaser, which is something I am aware of and currently working on right now. And also, being an anxious person and fear of criticism really control my life daily. I mean, I didn't know how to balance grad school, full-time job. On top of that, I want to learn real estate and even being married at the same time. And I had a lot of fear of just balancing and not being able to perform all these tasks at the same time, right? Mm-hmm. So for me, having the difficult conversations, about 3 weeks ago, one of my immediate team members, she's someone that has 17 years experience in the field. She comes across as someone, who's to herself, kind of doesn't like to talk to anyone. So within the 2 years I've been knowing her, we didn't speak much, right? Yeah. I kind of avoided her. I was afraid to approach her. So, but going up to her and talking to her on the phone, this really did improve my relationship. She told me 2 weeks ago that I'm the only person that she can stand on the team, which is kind of funny. But the conversation was basically, I told her, I respect her as a leader, and I consider her a mentor. But I've been really hesitant to reach out to her. I feel like I need to walk on some eggshells when talking to her, and she kind of laughed about it. But, she explained to me how she just likes to be in her own lane and kind of stays away. I think it has a lot to do with her being really good at her job, and a lot of people like to ask her questions. But, she explained, I told her, if I really annoy her, please let me know. But, today, I think within the last 2 weeks, we've talked every single day, kind of improving that relationship. We talk about, we bounce off ideas on how to improve workflow. That's kind of our relationship right now. We don't really go into like our personal lives, but going from like someone who I talk to, twice a year, or just like, hey, how you doing? That's it. So like having 2 to 3 hours a day conversations with, the workflow and the process is really, is a big leap. It's a lot different than I was six weeks ago. And like another thing is, I was recognized by upper management 3 weeks ago as well. Being part of SBA with this paycheck protection program that has been happening, I've been working about 120 hours a week for the first 2 weeks.
Oh my God!
And that took a toll on my, my life really. But with the coaching, I was able to balance finals, working 120 hours a week, find time for my wife on top of that, and now it's kind of slowing down on the workflow because
right.
the PPP loans are kind of dying down. So I give a lot of credit to myself and for Karen for really helping me kind of balance those objectives, especially in the month of April.
Wow.
I really don't know where I would have been without.
Yeah. Well, you do know where you had been. You just don't want to think about it. Where you were. Right? Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, I had a lot of anxiety.
Yep.
Working 40 hours a week.
Exactly.
I mean.
Mm-hmm. Well, I totally understand. Totally understand. Been there. Okay, so that's phenomenal. Bronson, are you able, and this is just in 6 weeks of Recession-Proof. And I know that, some music just came on. One of the biggest fears, it was you were not speaking up. It was no talking, no communication with this woman, right? Now you're talking to her every day. She has 17 years experience. I mean, that is, in a way, mentorship, but to have that relationship with this person that you created, the courage it took for you, and I mean, that just came out of 6 weeks. Can you tell us what was it that you heard in one of our Recession-Proof calls that either gave you the courage or what dot connected? Do you know what it was that could help somebody else possibly?
You talked a lot about, the fear of criticism and, being a people pleaser on top of that. Like I did not want, hated or disliked. But I just knew that if I did approach her, I mean, it can go one of two ways: have a healthy relationship, or just exactly how it was before.
Right.
So, I mean, I just took the leap of faith. I just had a long conversation, just letting her know, I respect you. And this is someone I've always wanted to really learn from.
Mm-hmm.
The last few years I've been, working there. So, I mean, to actually do it and, have that conversation with her. I mean, next is, I've already had a conversation with my bosses before, and now to where, I feel like I deserve promotions, and I'm working towards that right now. Now it's having the conversation of Chris had on how to approach my manager on asking for promotion as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the next step. And how's that gonna look? And I have a lot more confidence since I had that conversation with her to have other more difficult conversations with other people as well that I want to improve that relationship with.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really seeing, I talk a lot about the unconscious fear. I also talk about the blocks that are there that we can't see. We have no idea what's truly blocking us. And by understanding that information has opened you up to take the leap of faith, to have the courage and to speak up and be vulnerable, authentic, to be honest, but also compassionate and caring. Yes? And the riches, yes, the riches are in the relationships. They really are. Like Antonio said, he's getting free mentorship from the owner of the dealership where he normally charges. You see this? You become very magnetic where people want to help you and they want to relate to you. And then eventually as time goes on, guess what? They want to hire you. They want to pay you. They want you on your team. They want to partner up with you. And this is old school. And this is not, get online, digital, have the funnel, blah, blah. No, this is what's missing in the world. And imagine having the ability to go from talking to a woman that you had to walk on eggshells with, right? And we're talking really tense. Yeah? So much anxiety, so much tension, to talking every day and having her actually open up to you. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
This is wealth. This is all part of wealth. And that's what we discussed in our last Recession-Proof call. The studies done on self-made millionaires And number 3 of 1, you don't get it all unless you join the call. But number 3 was the ability to nurture relationships. That is the third. There's only 3 top common characteristics in the research of self-made millionaires. And it is having these powerful relationships and being able to communicate in such a way that you don't have to agree, but that you can see eye to eye and build on that and work as a team, because you're working with other people, right? It's not singles tennis. It is you're on a team. So congratulations, Bronson. That is amazing. And that is directly correlated to just these 6 weeks. Yes? I mean, yes, because it's like, it's only been 6 weeks, Bronny. Oh my God, time flies. It seems longer, doesn't it? To me, it does, in a good way.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. Anything more you want to say about that?
I think I'm good.
Yeah.
I have other successes. I don't know if you want to go back to that later. But
Yeah, we're going to come back around. I want to get to Alex next, so hang on. Okay, so we're going to circle around because, like, this is, we could go through this all day. It's so exciting for me anyway. Okay, thank you, Bronson. Alex.
Yeah, so I've only, been working with you for a few weeks, so I think a little less than Bronson. And, the few calls that I've had, you really opened up my mind to where my focus was at. And I previously, before our calls, just had a really deep root of fear of failure, that I was going to do something wrong and then that was going to just blow up my life. So, after our calls that I've had with you, it's like I kind of went back to my past and pulled all the evidence of everything that I've ever done, that I've accomplished, that I made myself get through, and that just seeing that I am resilient and that I can accomplish things, and times when I thought I was going to fail, that I came out on top and I was able to do it. And yeah, I went through some, struggles to get through everything, but it just really helped me focus on the fact that I can accomplish anything, which directly correlated to helping me, it's my first 30 days in real estate as an agent during the coronavirus, and, I went under contract on my first house with it less than my first 30 days.
Wow.
Because my mindset was so fixed on, and the other thing too is that, I think before the call, my mind was so set on the money that I was going to be making.
Right.
And the shift that you put into me was, that I started to see for myself, is that I need to be passionate about it, and it needs to come from my heart, and I want to come from a place of service to help other people. So once I flipped that switch, I went under contract with these people, and it wasn't even about the money, and it's so exciting to be able to help clients and do this in my first 30 days with everything that's going on. So that was one of my major breakthroughs.
Wow. Okay. That is like so incredible, in terms of everyone's in fear and there's Alex, contract, hello. Right? And that shift to being present, being passionate, being of service, right? Not focusing on the money. However, I want to talk about in this next round of going around your successes, I want to hear money, in terms of 5 figures, 6 figures, 4 figures, 6 figures, 6 figures, 4 figures, 7 figures. Whatever figure, right, is we don't want to discount the money or ignore the money, because there's money to be made here. But like you said, Alex, brilliant, before the calls and getting yourself in your powerful mind, you were fixated on the money, attached to the money, expectation of money. In just the one, right, in the several calls, we had a pre-call and then a coaching call, right? You shifted. Is that what I'm hearing? And
Absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead.
And then another thing was, I was afraid to even just put the investment into myself to get onto the call with you. And, I just, after our initial call, I was just like, wow, you you blew my socks off, and it's like we had known each other for 10 years. It's like you just knew the way my operating system was running. And, I was like, man, I just got to make this happen. So I was fearful of committing to paying the money with not having a job, and not being selling houses. And it's cool to see when you throw your hat over the wall and you just commit to it, that things just miraculously show up in your life. And, somebody randomly reached out to me and was like, hey, can I buy this watch from you? Which was the exact amount of money that it was for the call. So it's things like that where
I love that.
You just set that in. Set that intention, like you talked about on the initial call. You set the intention and watch things show up. And it's crazy when you don't try to make it the way that you want to, or resist it, or make it a certain way. When you just put it out there and let it come to you, and just have ease with it, and it just shows up. Mm-hmm. It's awesome.
Oh my God. So you're telling me out of the blue, out of nowhere, miraculously, someone just happened to call you after you'd made the investment and say, hey, listen, I want to buy the watch? You didn't even, I thought, oh, maybe you advertised for it, or you put it on eBay or something. Wait, so you're saying just...
Yeah, it was just a picture on my Instagram. So some guy is a watch collector and was scrolling through my Instagram, and it was like 3 years ago. So it's just, there was no coincidence. It was just that you just happened to Instagram feed and search a hashtag for the watch, and, he messaged me and said, can I buy it from you? And it was, like I said, it was for the exact amount as the call.
Oh my God. Okay. And that's 3 years ago. So we're saying it's very mystical, right? Like what? Yes. Okay. And that's what I love most about this whole thing is now we're at Think and Grow Rich, but we're also at, power, the law of attraction on steroids. Okay. As far as I'm concerned, this is like so far beyond that is that frequency is going out, and then out of the blue after 3 years, he just happens to see this. And then in that exact time, science can't explain this, right, Alex? It's mysterious, and yet this is a story of my life. And why I love this stuff so much is because out of nowhere you just get things that you can't even explain, and it's almost wow. This is what is so rich. Talk about prosperity, yes? That's an even better story than the text message that we got because we didn't get the details. Oh my God, congratulations. Okay, amazing. Incredible. And, okay, so I want to go around again. So we're looking at, let's talk numbers. Let's talk recession-proof because right now, in these times, there are only two major concerns. I'm only going to talk within the U.S., my country, right, our country, that there are only two major concerns right now, health and money, and not in that order. It's health, yes, but it's really money. It's really an income, paying for our survival needs, our rent, our mortgages, our food, our toilet paper, our sanitary things, blah, blah, blah. And I'm saying, no, I will not fall into the mass fear and hysteria. Let's keep our wits about us, not to be insensitive to what's going on. But, on the flip side, no matter what, regardless of circumstances, that prosperity, happiness, purpose, passion are there for the taking. And we can say, one of my wealth mentors says, the transfer of wealth happens now. How do you like them apples? The transfer of wealth is right now. And the ones who it's getting transferred to are the ones who've been training and who are ready and know the deal and have been doing the extra studying, the extra research, the due diligence. And I just got chills. And, I have a lot of philanthropic endeavors, but we want to look at, this is the name of the game. That if money and health are our concerns in that order, it's a thing. So let's go around. Cody, you're up. Thank you, Alex. Right? I want to hear the Recession-Proof call, some of the coaching, because you're a longer-term client, but the dots connecting, Cody. Do you have something that you want to share?
Yes. Just before coaching, like you say, the proof's in the pudding. Mm-hmm. And in the court of law, you can go back and look at my results. And back then, my income was just normal, as I had just a regular job, making no more than $2,000 a month, Mm-hmm. But through this and through the beingness and just having the intention of letting things go, I was able to post, 3 months, 2 back-to-back, where I at least made 5 figures.
Yep.
And most of that was effortlessly, and it goes to show that here this whole time we've been working too hard, working at a job, and trying to do business as a hobby, to where we jumped out of the job, both Chris and I, to focus full-time on the business, and just being focused and more powerful within has really showed just the growth in me and monetary value too. So.
Yes. So you went from 4 figures to 5 figures consecutively, is what you're saying. And the proof's in the pudding, which is incredible. On top of, Cody, right, that job no longer exists. You're full-time going for it right now as a full-time entrepreneur, correct?
Right.
Yeah. Yep. You had that a little bit as a security blanket, but it also shows this I'm holding you all accountable for your superhumanness and your brain power and your mental capacity. Yes? Meaning, I will shine the light on the very things that you can't see. And it's like, but it doesn't take long for you to all see, oh my gosh, that all tracks. That is me, right? Feeling the power, feeling the confidence, and the self-respect, and that I deserve this. I'm worth it. Congratulations, Cody. Yeah, exactly. And is there more you want to say about that?
Yeah, just connecting it back to the calls we've had is more so of you channeling my energy and efforts back to the results. Looking back and what history has repeated itself, what have I done to produce results? And that's procuring real estate deals and transactions. And unconsciously, I've caught myself sabotaging myself, not even knowing it, by trying new ventures and other things. So you channel me back into that energy and that motion of staying focused on what's worked in the past.
Yes. And then what happened? You went, because you started to go back to your old habits, and then you actually escalated.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead. Tell us about that.
Right. Yeah. So December, in the month of December, I had, October, November, I posted some really good, strong months income-wise. Mm-hmm. And come December, the results weren't there. So I went back into my Debbie Downer mode until you came and caught me. And it goes back to what I said earlier about just you catching yourself. I started to sabotage myself again to then go down the path of the not working path of something not producing the result to pivoting, reframing, and going back to what's worked.
Yes. And, you got to throw in, you were just on the call series, but you were consistently coming into the call series. Then you had your down months, right, Cody? And then you were smart. You said, okay, wait a minute. You actually escalated up into the one-on-one coaching. Isn't that true?
Right. And one thing I want to say about that is, Chris is my business partner here, and we've been partners together for about 3 years now. And he's been in coaching a year longer than I have. And one thing that I saw in him was that he didn't have to sell me on talking to you or getting involved with your work, because his results his illuminating, his charisma spoke for itself. And I saw day and night a different Chris, a different partner, and that's okay. Karen is the one I need to talk to, and I've got to make this investment in myself. And I took a step forward and started doing more personal and private one-on-one coaching come January 2020.
Yeah, so I think it's actually, was it January we started? Okay, so then what happened? Results. What happened? You got a little off track there, and then, whoop, go ahead.
Got a little off track, and you got right back on and posted another 5-figure month back to back, and just procuring more real estate deals. And back to what the results have shown and produced is channeling that energy back into what's worked. Unconsciously, like I said, I didn't know that I was sabotaging myself by avoiding things, and it's that fear that we bring up of not knowing, and therefore you just want to start different things, different ventures, when all you have is something that's working. You just need more energy and focus into it.
Yes, because your goal is to be the leader in that sector, is to be the master before you level to the next thing, before you can go to the next either, venture or the next level, staying honed in and really becoming masterful, yes, in what historically has proven results is what you're focused on right now, isn't it?
Right, yep.
Uh-huh. Yeah, bingo. Cha-ching! I don't know what they say in poker, but royal flush! What is it? I don't know. Right? Okay.
They don't really cheer in poker. They just kind of clap and do stuff.
Okay, awesome. Okay, Chris. Sorry, we could go on for days because we got to, this is so exciting. Chris.
So I'd like to share a couple of them. One of them that I really wanted to hit on was that when I was working a full-time job, I really wanted salary plus commission. Mm-hmm. And through this work, I was actually able to manifest that. And they had asked me to transition into a salary plus commission role rather than me having to go out and try and get it. Yeah. It actually sourced itself, which I thought was really interesting, and that just goes to show the power of the beingness. And then also, so that was, to me, was a money success because that was what I wanted. That was my desire, and I got it. And I was able to produce and close deals because I moved into this sales team, which is why I was able to earn some commissions there. And I was heavily producing in that aspect as well as the real estate, and was able to post a 5-figure month myself at the end of last year. And then this year, we had refinanced the property and were able to pull multiple 5 figures out, tax-free, which was amazing. And then more recently, to kind of put it in perspective for the Recession-Proof, Cody and I had our best tenant leave one of our properties, and we were kind of bummed about it, and because we knew that when the tenant left, we were going to have to put some money into it. And, we were like, well, we don't really want to put money into it. So we sat down, we had a conversation one-on-one about strategizing and thinking, hey, how can we be better here to not spend $8,000 to $10,000 here, but instead, how can we make money here? So we switched our real estate strategy up on this property in particular to now where we're actually going to put money into our pocket without having to make those repairs and leverage someone to we're going to owner finance the property out to someone that will make the repairs for us, or in hopes that they own the home one day.
Yeah. So okay. So go ahead. What?
So in the midst of the recession, the COVID-19 situation, we were able to actually create money rather than be in a poverty mindset and kind of be down about it.
Bingo.
We said no, let's change that.
Yes.
And I would definitely say that's as a result of the coaching and my takeaways from the Recession-Proof call.
Yes, exactly. Oh my God, that is so phenomenal because it's reframing the poverty the mindset into rich. And then really what I'm saying is the clearer we are, the more creative we are. We can stop ourselves from going down, the dark road and go, wait a second, we got this. And that's exactly what you guys did, didn't you? You turned it around. And that's brilliant. That's clear mind, confident mind, courageous mind. The 3 C's. That's awesome, Chris. Congratulations to both of you, right? But way to articulate those. Anything else?
No. I mean, really just thank you. And really appreciate you shining a light on the things that we can't see sometimes.
Uh-huh.
Which is like what Cody was mentioning. And sometimes we can't see those unconscious or subconscious blocks. Mm-hmm. And that's why it's so powerful to have someone like you, Karen, as a coach to say, to hold us accountable and to say, hey, this is where you're getting caught up. And this is, how to transition that through your beingness and produce the desired outcome or result that you're looking for.
Yeah. Well, because it worked for me. It was the only thing that worked for me, and I tried everything. So, you're welcome. And, but the one thing you touched on is, aren't you forgetting some of these successes? You're like, I remember that one, right? It's like, oh, yeah, I forgot about that. You see, when you start talking about it, you start to think of the other successes. Is that happening for you guys right now? Like you're remembering. Yeah. That we totally.
We got a check in the mail yesterday.
Oh, yep. Go ahead. Out of nowhere.
$676 in the mail. We were like, where's this coming from?
Right. Isn't that weird? I say it all the time. Yeah. It happens. And then this just happened. And that was from that was from a refinance, but that was 3 months ago. Yes?
Right. So it's so interesting that why didn't it happen 2 months ago? Why did it all of a sudden happen now?
Right. And after you joined the Recession-Proof, you dropped into the calls, right? It's just interesting. That's all I can say. And you want more of that. We don't even need to dissect it or question it. Is that, life, to have to deal with what we're dealing with, if you can get those extra bonuses and prizes and checks out of nowhere, just take them. Right? But I will tell you, there's a formula to the whole thing. Brain frequencies, the higher your vibrational frequency from your beingness, the more it lines up with the highest frequencies of prosperity. Okay? That's just that simple. Okay, Antonio, you're up next. Thank you, Chris. Amazing. Woo! Antonio. Let's see, who's up on deck? Yeah.
Ma'am?
Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. So, for me, I guess, the biggest thing from the Recession-Proof is that, to be a leader, to step up to the plate, because, during these times, it is a serious matter, like the pandemic, the COVID-19, but it doesn't help for all of us to be in the same, whole, you know what I mean? Like, in the same mindset. So there has to be that person that is, sorry, I had to leave my house because it was a little bit loud.
Okay.
But that everybody's in the same hole, and you just can't have that, because then if everybody's like that, then the vibrations of other brains is not going to work out. And so what I also like about the owner at my dealership, he's a great leader, so he'll be like, no, everything's fine. If anybody asks you how's business going, just tell them it's going good. And actually, that is the truth. Business is going good. And just keeping that positive mindset. And I've been able to keep other people accountable by also being a leader. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So
Bingo.
Someone tells me something, and I'm like, no, technically, that to me, that's an excuse. And I told you about that. I've been better about calling people, keeping them accountable. Like I said, literally keeping them accountable. And I was like, hey, that's all I hear is an excuse. And you could have done just as much as I could have, so on and so forth. And again, just making sure that I stay positive and try to go business as usual, how it should be. Because it doesn't help if I fall into the trap of, oh my God, everybody needs toilet paper. You know what I mean? I need toilet paper. You know what I mean? So,
okay, I love that.
Yeah.
Antonio, that's excellent. Okay, that's so brilliant. Exactly. It doesn't help the situation if we're all jumping off the bridge. You see this? I love how you just said that. And what we're looking to do is elevate collective consciousness, is to continue thriving, okay? And then keep everyone else thriving and but leadership. It's in your beingness, it's in your character, and you are showing up as a leader. And the accountability is priceless, meaning we're calling people out. No Debbie Downers here, no Don Downers, no negative Nellies, no negative Neds. Is that no thanks. And to actually speak up, which Bronson was saying earlier, the ability to speak up and say, well, I agree. We can agree to disagree, but I'm not going down that road. And that's what you're talking about, Antonio. Yes, very rich beingness. That's fantastic. And so I hear from the Recession-Proof, you're really getting, it really sounds like it's hitting home to not let whatever's happening outside affect you or use it as an excuse to keep you down or keep you, from not flourishing, to keep you in poverty, so to speak. Did you get that? Is that you can't use...
Yeah, that's exactly
right. We're not using this as an excuse. Okay? And we need this type of energy and this type of consciousness right now, more so than ever. And that's why all of you humans are stepping up and leading just vibrationally in your beingness, that you are radiating outward. Okay? And that's what we need more than anything, which people don't talk about very much.
right.
Okay, awesome. Okay, let's see. Bronson.
So,
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Miss one, I think, sorry.
Yes, no, please.
So, for money-wise, I went from, I guess you could say, lower four-figure monthly income to some of the months that I've been there achieving, higher four-figure.
Yes. You're seeing the increase in the money. Show me the money. You're seeing bigger dollar amounts, Antonio. Yes?
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Congratulations. Cha-ching! I need a little thing that goes cha-ching! All right. Go ahead, Bronson.
Yes, ma'am. So I've been focusing on my health and my mindset, knowing that the money will flow.
Mm-hmm.
Bringing positive energy in the workplace and continually to stay intensely focused on the task at hand, under promising, over delivering, because, in banking, I do make 5 figures. I'm on salary. It could take a while to get to 6 figures just by doing a W-2, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, with my wife and I, our combined income isn't 6 figures, but, being my age, I can easily be comfortable where I am. But, I know now, I have potential to actually make 6 figures just myself. I don't have to rely on, me and her combined.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to limit it to banking because, right now, I do feel safe and secure in the role I am now. But then again, I am in banking.
Right.
And we are about to hit a recession. So, getting that mindset positive, fixing that mindset to where, if something does happen, that, I will have a backup plan or I know that I can get through this compared to my peers,
Yeah.
So,
yes.
But yeah, so currently, I'm working, to master a new skill in order to clear, 6 figures myself, by the end of next year. So, I do have, my banking role, as, to keep everything stable, live in a nice environment, plan on having kids, but I know there is potential out there to make more, with a side hustle or doing the side hustle full time potentially. So, I went from being comfortable to knowing I can do more than what I can make now. So
wow. Okay, that's amazing. Yes, and that's it feels different. Yes.
Yeah, it does feel different.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you look back, at 21 years old, I wasn't in banking. I was in a different industry.
Mm-hmm.
Love that industry. Now I'm in banking. And my goal by 30 is to be a manager. Goal by 40 is to be a director. And I mean, I was basically telling myself, I hope to make 6 figures at 40, not 30.
Right.
So,
yeah. Huge. So you're saying that has shifted. That is
totally
transformed.
different shift. Total shift.
That's a huge. That's like a 180-degree shift, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like no confidence in myself. Saying, okay, well, I'm pretty much limited to what I have now. There's no way I could do more than what I'm doing now, right? And now saying, okay, well, there's no problem.
Yeah. Okay, that's huge. Cha-ching. There's another cha-ching. Right? Powerful. Okay, thank you. Oh, okay, Alex. I didn't realize you guys were going to have so much great stuff. We're going to do this again. Like, my God. Oh, incredible. So, thank you, Bronson and Alex.
Yeah, so I can totally relate to Bronson.
Yeah.
We've only been working together for a little bit, and I think getting into real estate, even from the very beginning, I still had self-doubt. I wasn't 100% believing in myself. I was like 97% in, but there's still those like little few percent of doubt in my mind. And, going under contract on this house, it just like gave me all of the confidence that I needed, and realized like, oh, I really can do this. So just keeping that positive mindset and that belief and that 110% unwavering belief in myself that I can do this, just was huge for me. So to now be able to see for myself that...
I think you're cutting out, Alex. I think we just lost you. Okay. I think we just lost him. So guys, we're going to wrap it up because we have a training to get to. But just chime in. How was it to hear other people's successes, to hear your own successes? How'd that feel for you guys? Good, bad, otherwise, maybe no different? I'd love to hear feedback.
Yeah, it's good that,
Good.
It's good that it's fundamentally across the board because we are all human. So this works
Sorry about
that. It doesn't matter if you're...
Okay.
My call dropped. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay, Alex. I'll come back to you in just a moment. And let Cody finish this, and I'll come back because we knew you dropped off. Okay, go ahead, Cody. Finish that.
Yeah, what I was saying. Yeah, it's fundamentally across the board, whether you're a real estate investor, a business owner, a car salesman. It's being human is where this work best plays out. Because you just free up your inner self and can be free on the inside that produces outside results.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Cody. Okay, Alex, go ahead and finish that thought before you dropped off.
Yeah, so, nope, I'm still here. So what I was saying is just having that belief in myself that I can do it, and now I'm seeing the evidence of, being able to make those 2-figure months, and it gave me all the confidence in the world to be able to do that, so.
Yes. So the confidence starts within ourselves first, yes? Really connecting to our highest, best, purest self, yeah? And then what happens is it shows up in our reality, in our external world. And then it validates again, so now you're in the great, you're in the, not the freaky fake matrix, you're in the phenomenal wheel of success and prosperity and purpose and passion, yes? That's what I hear you saying.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes, that's what we're all looking for. The heaven on earth cycle, where it's just like, oh my God, I knew I could do it. And all of a sudden the reality shows up. Oh, I knew I could do it. And that's why we're doing this podcast. So I asked, guys, chime in. We just have a few more minutes here. How was it to hear each other? How was it to hear yourself and go, oh my God, that's right, I forgot about that. Or, to hear each other's successes. How is that? Chime in. Go ahead. I'll moderate. Cody already went. Who would like to?
I'll go.
Go ahead.
This is Chris.
Chris, go ahead.
I really appreciate hearing everyone's successes because it helps me to see other people win helps me want to win even more, and to focus on my craft and my beingness so that I can be better because I want to be just up there with them, being able to share all of my successes as well.
Yes.
So, for me, it's more of like an encouragement, empowerment, motivation. And so it was really cool to hear how everyone is progressing in their own way. And it's something I value a lot.
Yeah. Now, is it triggering you guys? Because right here, I'm thinking of successes I forgot I had. I didn't want to share them because we don't have enough time. But is it like triggering things like, oh, I forgot to say this. Oh, I forgot to say that. That's what we want to have happen is you start to remember things that you just want to have for yourself. Does that make sense? So like hearing other people, hearing them share, like this is something you want to do often with, you know, like-minded, like-energy, like-hearted individuals. You know, Bronson, with your wife, you know, with significant others, you want to go over the successes. It's a thing. All right, so that said, anyone else, well, what are you getting from this? How's it feeling? Is it fun? Do you want to do it again? You know, talk to me. Chris, Antonio.
I just think it's awesome.
Yeah, Bronson.
I think it's awesome seeing everybody's success, and, you know, me being so new to coaching with you, it just shows me that I'm like right after I planted the seed. And then listening to Cody and Chris and Antonio and Bronson, you know, these now they're into full plants that are just blooming, and, you know, they're just really, it's seeing the fruits of all the labor that they've been putting in and all the coaching and all the work that they've been doing with you, and seeing the value of that.
Wow. Sorry, I thought Alex. Yeah. Okay. Exactly. Thank you. And it's great to hear that there's cause and effect, that there are solutions, yes, that are answers, and that we can do this faster. That's what this is about, yes? That, you know, it's there for the taking. And we don't have to struggle through. We don't have to wait a whole long time. Like, it's right here, right now. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Anybody else like to chime in and give, you know, go ahead.
Yeah, Karen. So
Yes.
This is some good experience for me because, you know, I'm someone who's very, very hard on himself. I can't remember the last time I spoke positive about myself. I've always been super negative towards myself.
Yep.
Pretty much everything I do, and I just focus on the failures always. So this is a different experience, very much needed, especially for me. And you know, that's just going to keep that positive mindset flowing to just focus on the wins a lot more than I have been in the past.
Oh, thank you, Bronson. Yeah, I'm sorry, Alex, Bronson, Alex. I'm getting you guys. I'm like swirling in all the amazing energy right now. I'm like naturally high on the best drug ever. Right? Is hearing you guys. So sorry about that, but anyway, thank you, Bronson, for that. Okay, anybody else? It's like being drunk on air. How hilarious. Does anyone else want to say anything before we wrap it up? We heard from Alex, Antonio, Chris spoke. Any last word? Yeah, go ahead.
So, for me, it's definitely been great hearing everybody's successes because, like, it just, you know, it goes to show that we all started somewhere. And that was my biggest thing. I remember before I started, I was like, man, like, I'm just scared to take the jump, right? Or just scared to do this, scared to do that. And so, I mean, to see also a reflection back to where I was, literally a year ago, because it's like around this time, May, towards the end of May last year. So where I've come, how far along I've come in just a year. And then, you know, like I always say, it's always just the beginning. So, yeah, just like, I was scared to do the first thing, you know, take those first steps. But now I'm here. So it's awesome to hear everybody's. You know.
Wow. I can't even believe it, Antonio. It's already been a year? Wow, time flies. Ooh, and exactly. And you know what's so interesting is I have that very first recording of you that we did. We did a podcast. Yeah. Oh my God. So, and you can hear it in your voice, like where you were. This is what's so tremendous. And you're just going to look back and go, OMG, but in just a year. Imagine if this had been your college program, Antonio, right? That the 4 years, right, were spent. And I'm not to take it away from college, okay? That's a great experience as well.
Exactly.
But it's just what happens is mind-blowing, and only because I can look at myself and how it didn't take me long for it all to click in. Okay? So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Exactly. And the last thing I'll say is, like, yeah, I mean, we talked about resentment or something like that, resentment. So I definitely don't regret college. And actually, I'm kind of glad that I went because, I mean,
right.
You know, if I wouldn't have gone, I wouldn't have came, like, a friend who referred me to you, right? So it all works out.
It does. Exactly. But wow, it's got chills when you just said that. You wouldn't have met the person who referred you to me. if you hadn't gone to college?
Right.
Okay, that's super deep. You guys, you're killing me in a good way here. Whoa. Do. Okay, so we're going to do this again, and we're going to keep doing this because it's so needed, as Bronson was saying, right? We're so need this. And you guys, right, you hearing each other, supporting each other, but also you got something additionally for yourselves, yes? We can't get into it, but did you get something else for yourself to inspire you? And if so,
Yep.
yeah? Can you shout it out quickly? Like in a quick sentence? What you got?
Well, just the whole Bronson thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hearing Bronson's story, speaking up and becoming more of the leader and just self-recognizing, that's something a lot of us don't do. But hearing that kind of clicked, maybe I should start doing a little bit more.
Awesome. Okay. Anybody
Hey,
else? Ronnie.
I got something.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got something that's a little more philosophical, I suppose. But,
Okay.
it was put to me in this way that I'm going to explain it, and it clicked with me again today. My whole life, I've always gone through life thinking that it was hierarchical, meaning, the longer I live, the I can get that promotion, and then in life, so to speak, to be a more successful or whatever it is. But to have the realization and understanding now that life is not hierarchical. Life is a blank slate. It's a level playing field that everybody is on, and it's about your journey and overcoming your obstacles to get where you want to go, rather than thinking that it's hierarchical, like you're trying to climb a ladder. But more so that everyone is a human, and it's all your beingness that gets you where you want to go. And so, it really clicked with me again today, but a friend explained it to me like that, and I thought that was super clever.
Wow.
And very valuable for me that I was thinking about today.
Yeah. Okay, that's big. And that is exactly the point here. We kind of need to end on this note, right, because the clock's ticking, but exactly, is that you get to create your world. And the best way to create it is to understand why you're not creating it in the first place. What's stopping you blindly? What is unconsciously sabotaging you, taking you down, and you don't even know it, and then you almost justify it. So that's huge, Chris. I mean, bam! Yes? Okay, anyone else before? I just want to make sure everyone gets a chance. That was Chris, Cody. Anyone? Any last words of quick, what you got in just hearing everything specifically? Okay, nobody? All right. So that said, I just want to thank you all so much for being on this call. Again, we'll do it again. You guys you killed it. That's all I can say. It was unbelievable. Like, I don't want to stop because I want to keep hearing more and more of your successes and how powerful you are. So I just want to thank you and keep being who you're being. Be. That's all you focus on is the beingness at the highest levels of beingness. And it all just follows suit. You're a force to be reckoned with. You're a magnetic force. You are the source. That's force with an F. S, source. You source it. And keep going. But there is a lot of training here. There is a lot of digging deep. And keep digging as we get higher and higher and we keep leveling up in every area of life, there's more buried deep down in the unconscious mind that will stop us. And we just have to look for it. See what's going on, go, okay, thanks, but no thanks, step off the wheel of insanity and back to business as usual. Okay, you guys, thank you so much, and I really appreciate this, especially thank you on behalf of humanity for being of such grand service to other humans, okay, especially humans in your demographic, and I can't thank you enough. You guys are beyond incredible and phenomenal. Thank you.